because dark objects are more likely to trap a lot of cycles. More object with that, yeah, it's true.
So Baba sebenzisa lamathotho lanka lamakhuza la
yes, trap the sunlight. So I actually am a solar example. The species of crocodile that you get is a Nile crocodile. They're capable to live both situations. During the summer months, crocodiles breed, and all they do, they just move overland between 20 meters, and they can excavate or they dig underneath between 20 to 30 centimeters, okay? And they can lay the eggs between 60 to 80 eggs. The sexes of the hatchlings is said to be determined by the sun temperature, by the temperature from the sun. Alright, if the temperature ranges between 28 to 29, it used to be only females. But if it's between 29 or 30 to 31, it should be only males. If it's much hotter than that, nothing comes out of the eggs. More interestingly, also with the Nile crocodiles, they're only reptiles to have about 4 hot chambers, like we human beings. At some stages, the temperature gets too hot. They can manage to go sleep under the water, shut down their heartbeats, and only be able to at least breathe for like 3-4 times a minute. Can you do that? They can stay under the water for up to 45 minutes. Just being under the water. You can only stay under the water for like 3-4 minutes. Okay, this might be your longest period, but crocs can stay even a bit longer, 45 minutes. Hippos and other mammals such as dolphins, you know, probably like hippos, they can only stay under the water for like 5-6 minutes and only push themselves up to breathe again. Alright.
Oh, hippo ayihlali kakhulu ngaphansi.
No, they don't stay longer. Yeah, they don't stay longer. It don't. Yeah, it don't.
Yellow wave.
Any question? Alright. That guy is just doing a bit of fly fishing there, so don't worry about him. But now, I was telling you a little bit about the status of the Lake St. Lucia and the mouth. There is no positive interaction of the Lake St. Lucia and the sea at present. Okay, the reason behind it, as Mthembu was saying, the mouth of the Lake St. Lucia has been closed out from the sea for the long time. It's now about 8 to 9 years, okay, since it was closed. Because there was an incident with an old Italian oil tanker, Rubino, which went aground, probably further south, like 5 km from where we're standing, towards Mapelan, that very highest hill that you see over there. It's a sand dune, actually, it's not a hill. And now the St. Lucia biologists, including KZN and Wildlife, they suspected oil spills and poison to contaminate the lakes, and that's why they had to use a big tractor-like thing, the dredger, to try and close the mouth from the sea. But just after the mouth was closed, nobody knew that the area was going to be hit by heavy drought, a huge drought. So it has been like very, very dry. And eventually all the lakes, everything just went dry. The lake's level eventually gets higher than the sea. So there was no way that they could open up the mouth of the sea, otherwise the seawater could quickly flush in everything, you know? And in this way destroying completely the whole ecosystem of the lake. So they had to wait. We had managed to get some few showers of rain from inland. The River tried to push in at some stages, but another alternative was to dredge the mouth to link up with the River to try and see if we get a little bit more fresh water from the river. But you know, allowing the river to flush into the lake can sometimes be a bit of a problem. So they also had got to be clever with that. You see how they have tried to diverge. So in this way they could be able to prevent some more siltations and sediments from flushing into the lake with their huge force. There has been few of the sediments and salt into the lake, I know, but it's not as bad as everyone should think. Well, the peace status from the locals' perspective is that the lakes should be allowed back to the sea, regardless of what the consequences should be. Everyone who go around the locals community they will say to you, could you please open up the lake because there is now no positive interaction with fish and that. Well, I will just speak, like a layman. I don't have all those, scientific understanding about how this should be like, but according also to my understanding, I can agree with you guys. There's been a lot of interferences. I grew up in this area. There's never been reeds here, all the way up to the mouth. The reeds, they are freshwater plants and they're supposed to grow up in the freshwater lakes or in the small little channels down the lake, where the salt level is not very high. But now you can see all of the reeds coming up all this way. They're interfering now with the nesting sites of the crocodile. Because I said to you, remember the crocodiles have got to move from the bank like 20 meters. You can see these things, they have already covered 20 meters. See? So they are already interfering with the crocodile nesting. If any crocodiles get some small little open patches with the sun to lay their eggs, but the sunlight is also interfered with, so I don't know. But somebody has got to answer these questions and somebody has got to come up with a plan. Yeah, has got to come up with a plan before it's too late. But the system slowly shows up that it is dying. Huge concentration of the white-breasted cormorants, which are nice birds which are fish eaters, entirely dependent on fish. Just after the smolt was closed, they just flew up their way all the way up to Kosi Bay and other lakes. We haven't seen huge concentration of the white-breasted cormorants in this lake ever since the mouth was shut up. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But huge amount of cows that you see over there is probably because of fish competition. There's been a bit of trampling, but another effective management plan for Isimangaliso Settlement Park was to try and ban the 4x4 drive. So they're no longer driving along the coastline. So in this way the birds are protected. In this way the turtles, which I said to you in the class, they loggerhead and the leatherback, they're also protected. Because remember, they always come ashore to lay their eggs on the shoreline. So if they are not drive like this, they definitely are protected. Okay. Any questions? No questions. Okay, let's head on down to the main.